The season finale of The Mandalorian Season 3 premiered today, and I got a chance to watch it this afternoon, and I fought with my TV a lot. My speaker wire did not like me anymore, and I had to replace speaker wire. Watching The Mandalorian season finale turned into a 2.5 hour event. Anyway, I know I got a lot of Mandalorian stuff with me. A lot of people assume that I love Star Wars. If you watch my channel, you know I'm not like the biggest Star Wars person. Yeah, I'll watch everything that they'll like bring towards me. I don't watch any of the animated stuff, but I'm not like, yeah, my favorite movie is Empire Strikes Back. In fact, I don't have a single like Star Wars movie on my favorite movie list on Letterboxd. But I do respect the series, and I have my opinions, and I don't talk about it that much because of the fan base. I swear, like I said, people assume I love this series, and that's fine. It's just stop buying me things. All these Funkos right here were a gift. This was a present that admittedly I asked for, and then Amazon had to torture me. This Jumbo Funko, Mega Funko Pop, $13. Not to advertise for Amazon, and that's not my intention because I don't have enough subscribers to be monetized. But yeah, I don't think it's $13 anymore, but it was a steal, and now I have too much Mando stuff, so that's why I'm pleading to anyone who watches my channel, and you know me, and you want to buy me stuff, don't know Star Wars. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. I got enough. I already have other Funko Pops over there that I didn't ask for Star Wars. Not to sound ungrateful, but please stop. Season 3 of The Mandalorian. This show I've enjoyed. I really liked Season 1, and I thought Season 2 was really great. And Season 2 ended, and I thought getting rid of Grogu was a smart move to make the show feel like it's evolving, to evolve into something a little bit different than what we've been getting the first 2 seasons. If the show will be this episodic, maybe dive into something a little bit darker, go into Mandalore a little bit, and like maybe have like a pure like gunslinging, completely new, fresh season. This little anomaly happened called the Book of Boba Fett, and they historically undid that, and I was mad when that happened. I had every right to be mad because this is easily my least favorite Mandalorian season. I did not dislike this season. In fact, I don't think the season overall is a bad season. I am just extremely frustrated with this show and how things have been going. I think there are plenty of enjoyable episodes this season. This is an 8-episode season. I think there's about four to five of the episodes I did enjoy. I got enjoyment out of it. They weren't perfect, but overall, the season had a majority of episodes to make me say, you know what, that was a fun season. And then there's like 4 episodes, which is a good chunk, like 3 or 4 episodes of the season. I was like, what are we doing? There's this one whole episode spent on developing like a new Republic miniseries, and people are like, oh, it reminds me of Andor, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, but that's Andor, and I care about the characters. Here is Andor, and I don't care, which is a bad thing because you get this one thing called bored. There's plenty of interesting choices this season, particularly with the biggest interesting choice they made was having a episode with, spoiler alert, Jack Black in it, and they go, and him, Mando and Bo-Katan go on a side quest that episode, and then other surprise faces show up. It was fine, but at the same time, as I'm watching it, people like to bring out the cinematography on Twitter. I do have to agree that the show's look has degraded since the first season, and people are pointing out, which I agree, Greg Fraser was the director of photography for the first season. I don't know if he did the second season or not. I don't think he did. And that season, it just hasn't looked as good because, of course, they think, oh, if we have the technology that they used with the screen stuff, what's it called, like the noise or the void or whatever it's called, people like Disney thinks, oh, if you just use it, it's gonna look good. But no, you have to use it right. You gotta have Greg Fraser do it, basically. Grogu's back, like I said, and it's not like he ever left because he was still in every episode of the season. Like, he's cute. Grogu is adorable. I enjoy his presence, but the way the show leans on him is becoming a little distracting and annoying. This season, Mando does take a little bit of a back step, and it does focus on a little bit more on Bo-Katan. And people, of course, on Twitter, I know I'm making a lot of Twitter references to this, are, or online in general, oh, I didn't want to see the Bo-Katan show. It's not the Bo-Katan show. It's still Mando's show. But there is a problem. Because we're focusing more on Mandalorian lore that doesn't really go anywhere, and we have Bo-Katan and some other arcs going on, Mando, he takes a back seat, and he doesn't really have an arc. In the first 2 seasons, he has a clear arc in each season. The first season was, I'm not going to break down his psychological, he learns to like droids. Something simple like that. He learns to care about droids, and because a droid sacrificed itself, he has a little aha moment, and it's something. Season 2, he learns to let go of Grogu for the greater good. And Season 3, he's like, oh, here's Grogu again. And I'm like, okay, where are they going to take his character from here? And they go with the interesting route, because they don't really do much, and I will kind of say the last episode, the ending, reminded me a lot of Thor Love and Thunder. And I don't know if that's the best comparison to give, but that's how I felt. There are some great action sequences this season. I don't want to sound like I'm trashing it, because I do have good stuff to say. The action sequences here are really good. There are some great Mandalorian action sequences, particularly in episode 5 and the last 2 episodes. Some really cool action that's just kind of turning your brain off. This is fun Star Wars stuff. The last 2 episodes, they introduced an arc that we've been wanting to see for a while, and what I kind of hope what the season was about. And so they kind of shoehorn it in and then kind of do the whole arc in 2 episodes, and I was very frustrated. They also bring back a certain character. I'm going to get into that in a second. Semi-spoilers, but if you watch the show or have gone on social media, you know by this point. Moff Gideon comes back, and he is just in a stupid-looking suit. I was just kind of really? I am tired of just bringing back Moff Gideon again and again and again. He just keeps on coming back, and I just couldn't care less. Because, I think, can't remember the actor's name who plays him. He's in a lot of stuff, The Boys, etc. And he's a great actor. He plays Moff Gideon well. It's just at this point he's becoming a little bit almost like a parody to me. This season, the CGI was actually halfway decent. There wasn't any moment in this season where I was like, yikes, that doesn't look good. Because no, the CGI isn't perfect. There are moments where it does indeed look bad, but it never has that Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania look where I was just like, yikes, this doesn't look good. There are actually quite a few very impressive visual effects shot, and particularly on Mandalorian. I know if they're like, oh, you're using the noise or whatever, or what's it called, the void? Oh, the screen thing. Whenever they're using the screen thing, people could say oh, they're not using CGI, they're using this. I'm like, but I think to myself, but they had to make these images through a computer and put them up on a screen still. It's not like people are going to fly out to Mandalore for Disney and get shots. The planet doesn't exist. You still how to render it. It had some impressive visuals. I just wish the impressive visuals had a halfway decent story that felt like it was going somewhere. And I know I say this every single time I review a season of the show, but it's starting to wear down on me. The first season didn't feel like it was going anywhere, but it was also the introduction to our character. We learned about our characters. We had a little fun side quest. The second season, we have a little bit more of that, but each time we have a little bit of character moments, arcs. This season didn't have arcs at all. And I know it sounds like I'm complaining a lot, because I did overall enjoyed this season. I enjoyed it as I was watching it. It's just now that it's done, I find myself very frustrated. When I scored it, I scored it the way I score things, and I can give one component VFX an 8.5 out of 10, and then give characters a 5 out of 10. It's just a lot of tug of war with things like that, where it feels like I'm giving it a score that's too generous, but at the same time, when it comes to my enjoyment of this season, it matches that enjoyment. Yes, I said it is easily the weakest of the 3 Mandalorian seasons, and in fact, this season makes me hope that they're ending it next season, or maybe this could be the end. If this is the last season of this show, I wouldn't mind. The reason why I find myself so kind of maybe frustrated is that I know whatever this season does that's supposed to be definitive, the next season or whatever Boba Fett does next is going to undo it. And I don't want to sound like I'm hating it, because I did, like I said, enjoy the season. I liked the season, I watched it, and I had fun overall. But I just think we need some course correction. I hope we get that. I know Jon Favreau wrote a lot of these episodes, and come on, Johnny boy, pick it up. Course correct, please, because maybe I'm frustrated because I see the downward spiral, and I don't want the show to go down that way. And I feel like the show ultimately will, because it's Disney Plus. And I hate that we are in a state where this is the show that kicked off Disney Plus, and here we are years later, and I'm saying stuff like this. Oh, it's the Disney Plus formula. I'm so tired of Disney Plus doing this, because it always happens on Disney Plus. It happens this way. It happens in the Marvel and Star Wars shows. That's not what you should be saying about Disney Plus. Yes, Disney Plus has its gems, Loki, Andor, but we have 2 great shows out of many forgettable shows. So maybe take this as a little bit of warning. But I am going to wrap it up. I'm going to give Mandalorian Season 3 a generous 7, and I don't know, this is with the score calculated, I maybe kind of want to say 6.5, if I'm going to be completely honest. I enjoyed the season. I enjoyed it. I'm only frustrated because of where I can see where it's going, but I can't judge something based on me seeing where it's going versus my actual enjoyment of that thing. Because who knows? Season 4 could be the best season of television ever. No one knows. So yeah. Anyways, comment down below what you guys thought of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Did you guys have fun with it? Or did you guys just kind of watch it like I did? Or did you guys absolutely despise it? Because I don't despise this season. I kind of despise where the Star Wars shows are going. I just see the components forming, and I don't like it. So yeah. Thanks, Book of Boba Fett. You kind of irritate me even more, even after you are done. The way Book of Boba Fett has irritated me is still living within me, even though the show was so forgettable. Yeah, anyways, enjoyable season. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that, and adios.